Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, July 8th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today, you might have seen him on MTV's Catfish and so many other shows, just to name a few. He is a voiceover artist and actor and so much more. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Tyrone Evans Clark and TGIF, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let's get into this interview. I hope you guys all are doing awesome as I am. I feel great, and I hope you guys do too, also, ladies and gentlemen. So let me share this live with my members so that we can get right into it, Fashion Dolls. Without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest, Tyrone Evans Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Tay. I hope you all are doing awesome today. Today's makeup, I wanted to do something a little bit different. It's an homage to the Spice Girls mixed with a little bit of Mary J. Blige. So shout outs to our beauty contributor and makeup artist, Melanie Nalamai Bridges, for making sure that we are right and effortless. I haven't played with glitter in a long time, as you guys can see. So I love it. I feel like an island princess or something. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest.
Hello.
Hello.
Can
How
you
are you?
good? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I look delicious for you.
And you do, you do. So welcome to the dollhouse, Tyrone. So how has 2022 been for you so far? Because I know we've had some ups and downs with this pandemic and so many things. How has 2022 been for you thus far?
I mean, it's been all right. I will say I was just recently sick about 2 weeks ago. One of my friends, I just found out that she had COVID and then her
Oh,
children end up getting it. Yeah, we went to a club just having a good time. And I was wondering why I was feeling funny a few days later. And she
yeah.
said, Child, I done had the COVID. I was like, oh no. So that means I had to stay inside and quarantine for a while. So I ended up missing out on the BET Awards because I was going to be a seat filler there. So I couldn't go. I was so upset, but it's okay. I got next year. So it is what it is.
All in due time. And I'm glad that you're well and doing better and you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. You too. And just to be sure, before we go any further, if I use the proper pronouns, what do you prefer to go by? So I make sure I use the proper pronouns.
She, her. She, her.
She,
Yeah.
her. Okay. And I go by all, in the moment, whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So before we get into this interview, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Tyrone Evans Clark? Because the world got to know you for Catfish on MTV, which I screamed. I was in here getting my makeup done and stuff, and I was in here screaming watching the episode. So tell us a little bit about who Tyrone Evans Clark is.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much a Renaissance man. I do a little bit of everything. I do music, I do acting, I do reality television. I'm also an author of two award-winning books. My third book is coming out, The Grapefruit Franchise. Oh
Okay.
yes, Mama raised no fools, and I know how to milk that cow dry. And then I like to give back on my spare time. I'm also an organizer of, I don't know if you're familiar with the National Exchange Club. So they
Yes.
do scholarships for children and kids with learning disabilities. And I was actually one of the judges for this year to help pick out one lucky kid out of the whole U.S. to get $15,000 scholarship for college. So, I mean, the thing is like, I love doing it, but I hate the fact that I have to make a decision out of 25 kids because you
Yeah.
wish you could give the money to every single one of them, but unfortunately we can only pick one. So it's really, really hard because they all got sad stories and they all need help.
Yes, and you do a lot. You are a man of all trades, and that is very important. I'm glad you talked about that, especially for children that are looking to get into the arts, that are looking to
Right,
get into theater, and so
right,
many things. There's programs out here that help, but it's just the funding that's the problem. So with
right,
you guys doing this, this can be beneficial to them as well. Also,
right, right.
All right. So
Absolutely.
acting. What does acting mean to you? Because I see you do a lot of voiceover work as well too, like
Yes,
with
that
different
is
characters
correct.
too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so for you,
Act,
acting. Go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Acting for me, it's all about expression, embodying the character and what it feels to you. I don't see really no rules on the acting. First of all, a lot of these babies that go into school and they thinking they need all this education acting.
Mhm.
There's people who been in the business, for example, Michelle Pfeiffer. She didn't go to school to be an actress and she went into it and she's like one of our best infamous Catwomans ever. You know, if you got the talent, you got the skill set, just go for it. It's all about feeling the character and being authentic to yourself because everybody is a character. Everybody is. So it's all about how you embody that character on the screen.
Absolutely. So for you, when you're on set and you're transforming, because we're talking about characters and the acting process, what is that acting process for you like? Do you have trouble getting into character, or does it come to you naturally? And for some actors are method actors, but there are some where it's just like, okay, I need to pull back. I'm no longer the character anymore. I'm Tyrone now. Has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. When I did my film, which is probably gonna be a question later on, Homeless Sam and Sally, and I had to forget that it's not me. I had to like take myself out of it. It's
Yeah.
almost like a spiritual thing where you have to,
Mm,
it's like you become possessed in a way. It's kind of scary, which I can see why Denzel Washington doesn't take certain roles because it's almost like a possession. But you really have to take yourself out of it and look at what you're reading on your page and say, okay, what would this person do? But you got to really get yourself mentally prepared. I usually go in a mirror, I practice lines when I say things, my facial expressions, and all that jazz before I do anything else. And I always try to make sure that my ears are wide open and that I'm actually hearing everything that the director is saying or whoever is saying. So I make sure that I am aware of everything, including the character itself. Because you don't want to get on set and look like a dang fool. You want to make sure that you're milking that cow dry and using your magic, but on at the same time giving it that character life and respect. Period. Because it's a character, and you want people to relate to the character. You want people to feel the character, and you want to show compassion, even if it's a villain. Right? In the movie Maleficent, Angelina Jolie, she was a witch in that movie, but you know what? It made you feel sorry for that witch. You could see that she was sad. She wanted
mm.
love. She wanted someone to be there for her. So we all want those things: love, respect, kindness, integrity, trust, and all that jazz.
Yes, and you want it to be believable because for some of the characters, they can resonate with someone at home that is watching it. And it's just like, okay, this
Yeah.
character I can relate to because I've been through a similar situation like this as well
Right,
also.
right.
So definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially all those Tyler Perry movies. Oh my goodness. There's so
Mhm.
many characters that's on the Tyler Perry from the abuse to being touched. When I was a kid and everything, like I don't want you to get all emotional because I want to keep you happy. But my life wasn't always a fairy tale. It took me a long time to get here from being on the streets and everything else to get to where I'm at today. And I'm just grateful that I'm still here.
And look at you now. So fast forward. The episode that everybody was talking about on MTV, Cat. All right, this is a national television show. Everybody's watching. Uh, you tricked somebody basically. Tracy, the woman's name was Tracy, and
hmm
the
hmm
person you portrayed was supposed to be was adult film star Ace Rockwood, and he
Right.
made an appearance in there. But then when you two met face to face, she walked away, and I'm like, girl, I'm the type of person because I watch films. I'm a movie lover, and I talk back to the screen and stuff as well to my sisters and my nephews. So, but I'm like, how could you not break out into laughter? And this is a serious thing because it happens to a lot of people
Right,
online. You're
right,
talking to
right.
someone. I've talked to a lot of guys and stuff offline, and I've been tricked and catfished and things. And I'm like, this is a serious moment, but I'm like, you kind of have to find the humor on the outside of it too, because you tapped into your voiceover skills a little bit. So tell us a little bit about that. I know it's not an acting show; it's a show where people are looking for,
Right, right,
to
right.
talk
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
someone.
yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
everything is
So,
supposed to be.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what happened is that because I'm technically pansexual, which I don't know if you remember that on the show, and I like a
Yeah.
little bit of everything. I'm attracted to just about everybody. If ET phone home came from another planet and had that rocking body, I'd
Okay.
probably be down with the ouch, ouch too. Okay. But so me and Tracy, we met online, but the thing is, I guess she just wasn't feeling me in the beginning. So I was like, okay, let me try a different approach. So I tried a different approach with a different identity. I was like, okay, I saw this chocolate fella. I was like, oh, Ace. I was like, oh, I know this Ace. I'll use that. And I used it, and we were chatting again, and it seemed like she was liking a person. I'm like, interesting. So it seemed like she likes me, but it was just the physical part. So then I was like, and then it got serious because I was trying to get rid of the account, and she kept hitting me up, and I felt bad. It was like there was moments, it's like the human side took over, and you know how it is when you're feeling vulnerable with yourself. Monique said it. I was feeling vulnerable with myself. So I ended up responding back, and then I said, you know what? How am I going to do this? So I was actually the one. A lot of people don't know, but I was actually the one that reached out to them because I felt bad. I felt really, really bad, and I was developing feelings. Unfortunately, what you saw on the show, she wasn't into me. You know, she wasn't feeling me like that. Even after the fact, like we actually are now friends today. We're cool now. We hang out. That was actually the one who low key gave me COVID. So gave me the cooties. But we're cool now. I respect her. She respects me. We're tight. And we actually go out. We dance with women. We dance with men. We're just having a
Okay.
good ass time. Oh yes, oh yes. But and then as far as the voiceover, yeah, I do all types of voices, especially with if it's a man coming over, if it's a woman coming over. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Oh,
You
okay.
know, your sexy self. Come over there with those big buns. Got a nice shake for you. You know, I like to, because some cats come over, they're like, yo, 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 you feel me, man? Yeah, yeah. You got some weed, man, player. Shit,
Okay.
give me that trade. Depending on who comes in, I might have a cap on. I might, dress it up, dress it down. Depending on who it is. You know, it's all about the vibe, playing with the energy. I used to do a lot of crank calls when I was a kid back in the day.
Uh-oh.
I did all types of voices. I got in trouble a lot with my best friend. I'd be like, SpongeBob, Krabby Patty, wah, Kermit, oh, Kermit. So I did all of that type of stuff back then. I used to mimic my grandmothers, my aunties, my cousin. I have this cousin, her name is Lori. So she always talked like she's got like a frog in her throat. She's like, oh my God, they're about to kill Wolverine. Randy, hurry up. The steaks is on the grill. We don't want to burn anything. Oh my God, Logan. No, Wolverine. That's how she talks. It's just, everybody's a character. And I love the clumps. Hurry, Denise, hurry. Sherman and Denise, everybody gonna get some. So I just love it. I love playing with voices, and I just love, making fun of life. You can't always be so serious
Yeah.
all the time.
And that was going to be my next question for you. Like, you and Tracy, did you guys ever go back and watch the episode and just kind of laugh and key about
Oh
it?
yeah, absolutely. It's funny now. It's funny, and even in the moment, it was kind of comical. Even though she was all emotional and everything, because I don't want to
Yeah.
seem like a douchebag. Because I know people watching this is gonna come up, people gonna see it. But it was funny. It was hilarious. Her reaction, especially when she got up. Ah, oh my God! She ran off like a bat out of hell. I was like, "Am I that bad? Come back over here, baby." You know. I was like, what's going on? I thought you liked my very white voice. What's up with that? I thought I was getting you wet and excited and things. Ready to play patty cake. Perfect patty messed up. So
Oh my goodness. Because I was like, when she got up and she walked off, I'm like, girl, you cannot laugh at this. You cannot. It's serious, but you cannot laugh at this. And I know the viewers at home who are
right,
watching definitely
right,
like that.
right. Absolutely. And even on my social media page, I did get a lot of backlash from some people coming for me, people sliding into Neve's and Cammy's, their social media pages and their DMs and stuff, sending me screen grabs, people who've actually attacked me. Like if you go on my page, you will see some of people's comments about, this is just horrible for what you're doing. Well, I'm glad that you got your 15 seconds of fame. You know how people are. People can be
Yeah.
very vicious and cruel, but sometimes we just don't respond to any of it because we're in the zone of, we call the cancel culture. So you have to be careful how you respond to people about
Yeah.
tweets and everything. So I just let them cancel their own selves out.
Exactly. And it's good to know that you took this and this is a memorable and teachable moment. And you took it and you spent it for the betterment of your career, which can help you with voiceover. And now the world knows who you are just from your personality and so much on there, even though it was a serious situation.
Right, right, right. Thank you. I truly appreciate it, and that you're not choking me over here and attacking me. How did you do this,
I
Tracy?
thought it
How
was
did you?
hilarious. I honestly did. It was serious in the moment. I was like, wow, okay. Ace showed up. Ace is a good looking man. He showed up. You're a good looking man
Very.
also.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you
you.
came
And you're
in.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And then you came in and you gave us this voiceover. And I'm like, okay, Nev and them, they were kind of like taken aback by it. I'm like, how could you not laugh at this? This is funny. It's serious, but it's funny at the same time, also.
Right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta make fun of life. You can't be so serious all the time because you miss those great moments. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was younger, I used to take life so seriously, but then I'm learning like don't just laugh at others, laugh at yourself too. Because we could be funny as hell too. Just laugh, laugh. Even when I fall sometimes, like, oh my God, I just scraped my knee. Oh my God. It's funny. It's comedy. It's comedy and everything. Sometimes it's dark, but comedy is found in everything, and it's healthy when you laugh and smile. I
Yeah.
don't want to be in my 60s, 70s, and 80s and have cracks all in my face. And next, I got to get a
From
lot of
not smiling.
Botox like Joan
Right.
Rivers, stuck with one pose.
So his mom seen the catfish episode and what did she say?
The thing is that with my mom, unfortunately, it's like, okay, I have a relationship with her, but it's not the
Yeah.
best relationship. And I think it's because well, let
Got
me
it.
just flat out call it for what it is. I'm a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, and you know how it is. It's just, she says she's there for me, but it's just her actions. Like, I don't want to get so much in it because I don't want to seem like I'm grilling
You
her.
don't have
But you
to.
know how it is with religion, and you know how the uprank of it. And she just preferred me just to be with a woman, not with nobody else. And even with my friends, even if I'm hanging out, either if it's with transgender or if I'm hanging out with a performer like a drag queen or whatever, she just assumes that I'm with that person. Sometimes they're just my friends and we're just hanging
There's
out, and she
nothing wrong
does
with
make
that.
comments and stuff like that. She has saw my stuff, but sometimes she pretends that she haven't seen it because it's either LGBT related, or it's, I guess, she's like, I guess, embarrassed by it. um, I love her, but from afar right now, we're still working on our relationship. And I'm just trying to loosen up the knots and really trying to put it all together like cake. Sometimes you get cake and it doesn't have enough frosting. So I'm trying to put enough frosting on there, a nice coat, and hopefully one day I could put a cherry on top and finish it off. But right now, we're still trying to get that cake together. Now
And
I'm
it's gonna
hungry.
come together. You'll come around. It takes time. It takes time for most parents out there that are watching this who have a child that is in the LGBTQ community. It takes time. So you just keep doing what you're doing, which is being your authentic, funny self, which we love. Even
You.
though you got
Thank
some
you.
negativity from it, just screw the negativity and just keep going forward with the positivity because we need laughter more than ever,
Thank
especially in
you.
these dark times with everything that's going on. I don't even have to get into the half of it, but we need something to just be like where we can laugh together and come together.
Right,
And
right.
whatever else
Woosah.
is going on in the world, yeah, we can work on that in the meantime also. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what is next for Tyrone? Because I feel so much is coming. You've done other shows as well too, but there's so much more I feel coming with you with voiceover. I feel cartoon. I see comedy and stuff in the future as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I don't know if you saw the other show. I did the Judge Steve Harvey, which came out as well. But yeah, the future project for me, of course. Well, first I'm going to make the announcement. Homeless Sam and Sally, the movie
Okay.
just got picked up on Box Brazil Play. So they have 41 plus channels, and I just made a feature. It's not out yet, but you'll be getting exclusive that I just made a feature in Deadline Hollywood, which you know who Deadline is, which they're like
Yes,
equivalent to
that's
New York
true.
Times. So it's going to be coming out soon, the article, which I'm so excited about it because you know how it is when you're working with a team and you know when you're a person of color, it's hard sometimes for us to work with our own people. You know how it is. It could be very negative. I'm waiting for the movie to come out. When is it coming out? Yada, yada, yada. Is this real? Is this
Been there.
legit? I'm like, yes, it's
Right.
legit. I spend the money. I invest. I'm real. Sometimes this thing holds us back. You know what I'm talking about, the color. And we have to let people know, like, I might be chocolate, I might be brown, but I'm a boss. Okay. So look beyond the texture of my hair and my skin color. Look at my character and the way that I work in the business. And they forget that we're people, just like everybody else. We're people. But the project that I have coming up, which I'll make the announcement here as well, is that I'm in a process making a horror LGBT film. So it's going to
Okay.
have like some DL characters in there, some blood and gore, and possibly some infamous porn stars that y'all know about in the LGBT world.
All
So I
right.
already have one where he's already interested. He's a big name. He's been in a lot of movies showing all the assets, if you know what I'm saying. So, and then I got one girl, which is she's done some work on Grey's Anatomy. She's been in some of the episodes there, and
Okay.
she has a. And I'll give another clue, and she has a twin. So that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. So
I
I'm
think you
still, yeah, 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 yeah. And then more music coming out. A song about medicinal stuff, 420, and more animations and all of that. And I also I have another cartoon animation out. I don't know if you saw that or not, called "Keep the Bugs Out of My Soup." And it's African American animated character, and one of the animators who worked on it is actually one of the original Walt Disney animators. So so he's worked on Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Snorks, all that stuff, like the stuff we grew up watching. So
yeah.
he's an elder. So I don't like to use words like I don't like I just say mature, very seasoned meat, not tainted meat, seasoned meat. So
Okay.
and and other stuff coming up, and like I share with you too, the book is coming out soon too, called Grapefruit Season 2, Chaos and Confusion. So it's a continuation of the New Zealand culture, fantasy, and some of the characters are
Mm.
possibly LGBT undertone, LGBT, but you can kind of tell who they are. Undertones, that kind of gives you little symbols and stuff. People who are LGBT, they'll know, they'll figure it out. I like to like play with people's minds and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I got a lot on my plate. I just love milking that cow dry.
Right. And creating and flourishing, putting that talent to use. And I was just about to ask you, what, voiceover, what was more in the voiceover arena for you, but you've already covered it. And another thing I love that you said is this sometimes holds us back, which is true. Especially being in the LGBTQ plus community. For us as people of color, we have to create our own projects. It hasn't been easy
Right,
because we've
right.
been told no so many times. And this particular project that you're working on, Keep the Bugs Out of My Soup, you said where it was the cartoon characters are African American based, and working with someone from Disney. Growing up for us for Disney, the representation that we seen was Brandy and Cinderella, and then fast forward, the Princess and the Frog, Princess
That's
Tiana, Anika Noni Rose, and
right,
we're starting to see more and more of these big companies like Pixar and Disney give us, uh, of course, there's the Proud Family and so many others that
right, right,
showcase
right.
cartoon characters that are of color and diversity, the diversity aspect of it. So we're seeing that change slowly, but we need more of it. And this is what we definitely need. So.
Absolutely. And it's okay to have a big nose and full lips
Yeah.
and big eyes and big cheeks. Because, even with some of the characters that look like us on all those, some cartoon platforms like
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon Network, they tend to make like almost like a white looking character, but just with dark skin. And I'm like, all of us don't look like that.
That on.
Some of us have big noses, we have full lips. Show beauty in all shades and sizes and stuff. Don't try to water us down. And then some of them make them look like us, but they don't show the beauty side of us. They make them kind of look I'm going to just say like dark chocolate. And it's like, we don't look like that. It's like, be
Mm.
real and all of this. Be real and all this ebony and chocolateness. Because I love it. Hot sauce and chicken wings.
Okay. And that's representation because the young black and brown boys and girls that are watching these platforms growing up and can say, okay, this character looks like me. They want to be inclusive. Like you have so many people writing children's books. Could you see yourself getting into children's animation and children's books?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's actually going to be my next trip with my brand, including making video games of people of color. Because that's my background. That's what I went to school for. So I
Okay.
have a bachelor's of science in game art and design. And actually, a few weeks back, I turned down a few deals. So one was with Google, one was with Facebook, true story. But they wanted more of like, seemed like a programmer more than an artist. And it's
Okay.
like I do programming as well, but I like more of the creative side, like making the characters and the 3D and all that jazz. So I just hope, maybe I'll be the next chocolate LGBT, a little bit of Tyler Perry and Oprah mixed with Bill Gates, and have my own game system and stuff and give back to the community. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to get into the children's stuff because kids, they do need more representation
Yeah.
and they do need to see more characters that look like them. I'm tired of seeing these characters where they're just, and I love all shades, don't get me wrong, I love all shades, but it would be nice to see somebody who does kung fu that's African, someone that's dances African, even though they pull a lot of that from our culture, and you know what I'm talking about. A lot of our styles, a lot of our fashion is from the culture, our spirituality, the way we express ourselves, our features. You can go to Beverly Hills and get blowed up lips like Mariah
Mm.
Carey or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's a yes, yes for me for sure.
I totally understand and agree wholeheartedly. And shout outs to my girl, Blue Haze Clothing, always hooks me up. And last week's look was actually a piece from Blue Haze Clothing. So special thanks to my girl for that. So definitely go and check that out. She says, I love his hair. And yes, he is so right. Inclusiveness.
Thank you. I love you as well. Thanks for watching. Thank you.
Yeah, so you guys go and get your hot looks for the summer from Blue Haze Clothing. Go and check it out. The pieces are amazing. And I actually have worn a couple pieces for my girl Blue Haze. She hooks me up and gets me right. So definitely go and check her out. So for you, how do you feel about the current state of Hollywood with all of these producers being of color, like the Issa Rays and so many others, and so many others that are just coming up underground, the next generation producing and directing their films and projects? Do you feel as though we progressed or have we stayed kind of like at a standstill?
Oh, we are progressing, especially with P Valley.
Yeah,
Those two scenes,
Katori,
and everybody's
Tennessee.
making little comments about it but that's real life. We got trade, right? We got
Yeah,
the trade, and I know Funky Diney even mentioned this on Fox Soul, and he was talking about this on TGIF with a bunch of straight men. There's always at least one or two that gets down. And these are our reality, and this needs to be shown out more. People need to be
yeah.
able to be their true selves, even on the screen. Like if I'm looking on the screen, I want somebody that looks like me. Even on Insecure, I have my insecurities too. I'll be like, am I thin enough? My voice is deep enough?
Oh,
You
okay.
know, all these things to get some razzle dazzleness in my life to be able to play patty cake, because I love to play patty cake. And with everything that's come out, even with Issa Rae, I don't know if you watch Queens and Slim. That movie is so good. Oh my God. And that ending, spoiler alert, the way they did them, it's what we're dealing with now. Recently, there was a young man, he was just driving, speeding. They shot at his car 90 times, and out of those 90 rounds, 60 hit him. And they still got a nerve to put handcuffs on him. Like, really? It's so barbaric. Seriously. Black and brown bodies are not respected in this country. Not only that, our women is not respected in this country. And for them to say, for them to control when they can have an abortion or they just can't have an abortion, like, it's absolutely ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. And that Sunny character on The View, she done lost her rabbit mind. That's another NSL. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot.
Yeah, and I'll just say this: when they did that, and the Supreme Court of the United States, I haven't really been talking about it lately, talking about politics, but I'll just say this: that affected a lot of people, LGBT people, us in our community, and women as well too. And it's just like people should have the freedom to their own bodies. You can't stop someone from taking control over their body. It's not right. And now you're trying to take away same-sex marriage. My thing is people deserve to marry who they love, regardless of your beliefs. It's their choice at the end of the day, and you can't stop that. So that's my
They have
thought.
to keep, they got to keep this church away from state. They got to keep it separated. And then after that, what's the next thing they're going to attack? They're going to attack the color of the skin. Well, you can't marry white. You can't marry this ethnicity. You can't. And it's crazy how that judge went along with it, but he's African. And it's last time I recall, his wife is white. Okay. Looking like somebody on a can of beans. Are you kidding me? Girl, bye. It's a mess. It's a mess. And it's a dominoes effect. After this group, who's next? It's going to be another group. Then it's going to be another group. Then it's going to be another group. So we got to get to a place that we can all agree. But I am so over these old white men controlling what people should do with their lives. Period. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous for me. They can't even relate to me. They didn't come from our upbringing. They don't know our story.
And they don't have our skin. They don't understand what it's like to be a person of color, and they don't care. And it's just like the privilege that you have is not the privilege that we have as people of color. And you're stripping us just of that right. This is what Septima Clark, John Lewis, and so many others have fought for education and rights for people. Martin Luther King, all of us, they took their last breaths for us to have this. And now they're stripping it away from us. And it's so funny that this is now happening in 2022.
And we're still got a pandemic. It should be focused on the virus, right? Now we got these monkeypox. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ee. So now we got the monkeypox. It's always something coming out. They're just popping out like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Ultra, Delta, Beta, Meta. I mean, I can't keep up with all of them. It sounds like some type of combo, a pill cocktail or something.
It is a lot, and it's overwhelming. My mom was saying this just the other day. She says that when she turns on the news, like she can't even watch the news and stuff. Like it's so sad that everything is going on in this country. Like you literally have to take a break and detox. And even me, being a hostess, I've had to I'm like, okay, I can't do topics today. I can't cover this. I'll speak on it briefly. I'll give you a little bit, but it's overwhelming for a lot of us. We do have a lot going on with this pandemic, and I'm just like, oh Lord, what is next to come? So I agree with you on that.
It's a lot. You can't keep up with it. You just cannot keep up with it. Just like technology and everything else. Within a few days later, it's going to be another iPhone. And people are going to be waiting in line for that one too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, Fashion Dolls, we're about to get into our games with Tyrone here. The first one is called the Rapid Five. And Tyrone has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without. And then the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. And my guests get to ask me questions for the new viewers because I've seen a lot of new faces come in here. You guys get to know a little bit about me, the hostess, and my things that I like, my passions, my goals, my dreams, or whatever it is. So we're going to start off with the Rapid Five. What are 5 things that Tyrone can't live without?
Well, first, oh, he done ramped off. my cat king, I was gonna lift him up into the thing.
Oh,
So, so first is my cat king, King Julian Caesar Clark III. He's my world.
yeah.
Video games. I love my games. I love to play shooting up games and all that jazz. Um, of course, food. I gotta eat. My favorite
Okay.
food in the whole entire world is oatmeal, royal oats. It's got me thinking of
Okay.
coming back to America. He's here to sell his royal oats. So that's that. And of course, I gotta have my movies, like, and that covers a plethora of everything. Netflix, anything that I can watch movies on. I gotta have my movies. And last, just friends and family in one, just having that love and support. Yeah, I feel like everyone should at least have one good friend like Oprah. She's got her Gail. You got to have at least one good friend in your life because you can't do it by yourself. Because sometimes you feel like breaking, and it's okay to break sometimes, but it is better when you have somebody there where you can just lean on or hug or embrace.
Exactly. And I agree wholeheartedly 100%. That support circle is very, very important. 100%. All right, fashion dolls, it's time to turn those tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, the hostess. So the shoe is going to be on the other foot. My guest is going to be asking me questions about, just life, just in general, my goals, my passions, whatever it is they want to know about me, the hostess. And for the new viewers, you get to know through this segment. So I'm going to pass it on down to Tyrone here, and he's going to ask me some questions, ladies and gentlemen.
So first of all, how did it feel to interview the famous Vanessa Williams? Oh my goodness. Like that is, I mean, you've had tons and tons of guests on here, like tons of them. But the amazing, incredible Vanessa Williams. Oh my God.
I'm
How
not
was
gonna
that
lie. If
experience?
I had to relive that day all over again, I would have to say I'd had an out of body experience.
I bet.
I was nerve wracked. I was so nervous. But she got on there and she had her glasses on. She didn't have on Facebook. She didn't have on makeup, nothing. Just naturally beautiful. And she came up with
Wow.
her crystal blue eyes and she said, "Hi, how you doing?" So I just kind of like, I can't freeze up now. So let me go into it. And I was just like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" So the interview just naturally went well. I said I wasn't the queen that day because people will call me queen sometimes, and I said no, that's the queen right there. I'm looking right at her, and I've had pictures of this
Wow.
woman on my wall, posters of her during my high school years, and to be sitting in her presence, watching her films, listening to her music, it's just I was starstruck. I was mesmerized. So that was a moment I will cherish the rest of my life.
And she seems so humble too, and she loves the LGBT community. You see, she works for RuPaul and
Big ally.
everybody else. She really loves us, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, don't forget about your audience and people who support you and all that jazz. The other question I got for you, because you are a host, and congratulations to your success. I see you doing your own, like even going beyond the virtual world, maybe possibly having your own studio because you have a plethora of content, nice content, and I did watch a lot of them. You got so many of them. I'm like, oh my God, you met this person, you met that person. Um, the other question I have for you is, what is your take on Wendy Williams with the situation, how it was the last episode and how it wasn't like, people feel like we're losing Wendy. I don't feel like we're losing, but I just wanted to get your take on it because you are a host, you are in the entertainment field. How do you feel about that whole Wendy situation?
Well, it's unfortunate. She had her show way before I got Style by Stevie. I started Style by Stevie in 2016. She's been doing it longer than me. And she has status. She sat with so many people as well as myself. But me just
Mhm.
coming to the game as a new up and coming talk show hostess, it's unfortunate that that happened because I mean, so many iconic moments on that purple couch or um plum colored couch that she had. She sat with so many people, and some of the moments were kind of shady, went viral, but
Right, right.
this platform, people took so much from her
How you
platform.
doing?
Yes, whether it was to hear her say that or to see, some of the moments, or to see who was going to be co-hosting or whatever, or delivering topics with her. It The show was so pivotal within the Black community and the Black LGBTQ community because some of her fan base was LGBT people. So I would have
Mm.
to say fortunate and also pivotal because the show made its mark. So, yeah.
It did. It did on culture, everything. I mean, there's just so much I got from it. And just don't be afraid to be yourself and be real. And she
Yeah.
even brought up the racist issues in this country, too. She said, you already know what that's about. You know what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it, but I know what I'm thinking. That line, she said, pick a finger, just incredible. And then the lastly, what is your goals? Like, is it like beyond this or adding additional to your show to this platform?
Well, I would love to step behind the lens because organizing interviews and stuff, you guys get to see me in the forefront, of course. But I would love to step behind the lens and get a feel of what it's like to produce
Mm.
direct because I love organizing. I'm very organized, prompt, on time with everything. And I don't want to be unprofessional or anything. So I think that producing and directing would be next for me in the future. I would love to put projects together and make sure that everybody's treated equally and fairly.
That's what's up. Incredible, incredible. Well, I can't think of anything else at the moment.
It's so much. It's so much that a lot of people wanted to know, like how do you do it with the platform and balancing and organizing everything. I do it the old fashioned way. I keep a little planner and I create vision boards too. So I like to
Yeah,
put
I was gonna ask about that too. Like I was thinking, because I'm like, first of all, I want to say that you're so organized. Hat goes off to you because I've had interviews with other people before where they're not organized or they don't keep their word, and you're punctual. And then for you to be, because when you schedule it so in advance. Like I got this, I know. And then every time, look, there's another interview with somebody else. There's another interview with somebody else. I'm like, you are a busy, busy bee, and you're making lots of honey, and that make that mucho dinero, okay? Milking that cow dry. But yeah, it
and
takes
my
a
brother.
right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now I was gonna say it takes the right person and a gifted one to be able to keep all that inside and to be able to function with all those different types of personalities. I'm thinking in my teacher time when I was a teacher and a professor dealing with all those different personalities, but still having to do the task at hand. So it's a gift. You have
It
it.
definitely
A lot of people
is.
don't got it, but you got it.
And I realized going into this being a hosting a platform like as big as a talk show, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. You just have to have the energy for it to find that balance to be able to deal with family and things that are happening in the world. And then this platform right here, being able to cover it and then be able to talk about it so that people can just kind of get where you're coming from and understand it as well. It's a lot that comes with it. And I take a lot, I've been through a lot, and I'm surprised that I'm still here, still going, and it's flourishing. Doors are opening day by day. So I'm happy.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I see this becoming even bigger what you're doing. And you have the receipts to back it up and the content and the experience. So you should be really proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back because you're doing it. You're doing your thing. And a lot of people, they want the success, but they're not willing to do the work. I've had so many people where I try to have them come on. I had a young man recently. It was for a project for a big platform, and they needed me to bring another person on, and he messed up. I did all the work for him. All he had to do was send in an audition video and a few pictures of himself. He didn't want to do the work. I had issues contacting him for 3 days, and then after they rejected him, then he want to hit me up. I'm like, it's too late. He was like, well, they're not professional anyway, yada, yada, yada. So he tried to brush it off. I was like, no, it's because you didn't really want it.
Yeah,
You got scared. So you're saying you want it, but a lot of people, they're not ready for this. And what you're doing, it's a gift. A lot of people are not able to get in front of, I'm sure if somebody else was in front of Vanessa Williams, they probably would freeze. Wouldn't even know how to do it.
I
Wouldn't be able to,
agree.
they'd be too starstruck. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. they can't even form a word out of their mouth. So it's a gift and a talent to be in this arena to say, I got this. I'm in control. I am the boss. I got this. A lot of people can't do it, but you got it. You got it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. And like I said, it takes a lot. And I get nervous too. I have emotions just like other people, just like everybody has emotions. And there are days when I'm just like, okay, I'm nervous. So I kind of shake the nerves off and I give myself a motivational pep talk. I look at a lot of quotes and I read my Bible scriptures and things. And
Mm,
that kind of helps me mellow down before doing an interview. That's like my ritual, holistic ritual, if you must say,
beautiful, beautiful. And God is good all the time.
all the time.
And he's always on time. Because there's moments in my life where people did me wrong, and I'm sure you witness it too, where they do you wrong, and next you know, you find out in the newspaper something happened to them, or you hear about it, they're in jail, or they didn't pass away, God forbid, or they done broke something, or whatever. It's always something. I say, always be kind to people, because you get that karma. You always reap what you sow, and people forget those things. They forget. You always reap. So it's better to do good because you get it back tenfold.
Absolutely. And I believe whatever you put out there in the universe is what you're going to get back in return. So if you put out good energy, it's going to come back to you full circle. And I
Right,
keep
right.
trying to practice putting out good energy. And I'm very welcoming to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you. All right. So we're now at the final hour of our interview with Tyrone, ladies and gentlemen. And the last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone that is a young black or brown boy or girl that is watching this interview, that is saying, okay, if he can do voiceover and cartoon, because when we're young, we say we want to be a what? We want to be a doctor. We want to be
Yeah, I've had
a
that
nurse.
too.
All of these things, yeah, when we were younger. And they say, oh, I want to be a cartoon character too. And we dress up as these things for Halloween, which is my birthday month. And it's just like, okay, what advice would you give to the black and brown boys and girls that are watching this platform, this interview, and are saying, okay, if Tyrone can do it, I can do
My advice is to really just be you and live your life.
it?
When I
Yes.
was young, I was so caught up into this whole programming life, like, oh, I got to do this, follow this. But sometimes life doesn't have a complete path or a guide that you can follow, like a recipe. You put the flour in to do the cookies, the butter, the marge, the vanilla abstract, maybe some
Mm,
raisins, some pecan nuts, and the bake it in the oven and be done and be golden, crispy, and brown and delicious. Sometimes life isn't like that. You really have to just live your life, live, especially when you're young. Have fun. Have fun as much as you can. But also make sure that you focus on your grades, get good grades, respect your elders, always respect your elders. Even when you know they're in the wrong, respect them anyway. Just say thank you, God bless you, whatever, and keep it
mm,
going. As far as your goals and your careers, that usually hit like around high school. Then that's when I say, okay, you got to really grind for it, really, really grind for it. But hey, some of the most talented people in the world didn't even finish school, didn't even go to school. But it's good for you to have in your handbag. God gives us all a book bag and it's full with so many goodies, right? Some people have singing in there. Some people have dance in there. Some people might have the thing in there where they could be a doctor, right? And they have the attention span to be able to go into someone's body and be able to pick out ligaments and organs and find out where things are placed, or a scientist, or could be the next rocket scientist, or whatever the case might be. But live your life. Just live your life. And it would naturally come to you, because one day you might be, say, I want to be a voiceover for a cartoon. And then you get older and you realize you want to do something else.
passion.
So it's better just to live your life, have fun, don't take things so seriously. They have that saying out. Sometimes just sit back and smell the flowers and everything would naturally come into play. And also get involved with your community. Go to conventions. If it's something that you're serious about, go to E3 Electronic Gaming Expo. There's always gamers there. Game studios show up. They're always looking to hire people, all walks of life. Another one is Comic-Con. That's another place to go. All these big companies there, Marvel, DC, Comics, Sony, Disney, Nickelodeon, they're all there. And who to say you can get in front of them and do something crazy with your voice, and you never know, you might be discovered right there on the spot. So networking, have fun, don't take life seriously, and just live your life. It will fall right into place naturally, like a dominoes effect. Boom, boom, boom. Cause of effect.
Yes. And also, I want to add on to what Tyrone just said is follow your passions, follow your heart's desires. If this is something that you want to do, make sure you jot it down, create a plan for yourself. Because when I created Style by Stevie, it was just so randomly like, boom, Style by Stevie. I was sitting in my room, and this is around the time that I graduated high school. And I said, what's next? Because our parents always asked us, what are we going to do next after graduating high school? Are you going to college or are you going to go? I didn't go to college. I went straight to beauty school because I said I love to do hair. This is what I love to do. So after that, I formulated a plan for myself. What is going to be my game plan? And it was this. I love to talk, and ever since I was younger, I said I wanted to host a talk show, and this is for me to sort of spread my wings and soar like a bee.
Beautiful. Yeah, like I said before, again, school, you don't have to be in school for everything that you're doing. I have a
Love
sibling.
it.
He didn't finish school and he is successful. He's crazy. You said hair. He actually does hair too. And he does a bunch of other stuff. And he actually makes more mucho dinero than me. And I work in with computers and 3D software and do all this other stuff that I do. And he still makes more than me. I'm like, what are you doing? You work with the mafia or something? Puffy? You know? But it's just everybody's mindset is differently, having that hustler mindset, making boss move, having that entrepreneur skills. And that's another thing. I wish they could put that in school. But a lot of them are not going to do that because they want you to spend the money. They want you to go through the whole process and have it in your brain that you got to go through all these steps. Oh, you finish elementary, you go to high school, you go to college, and yada, yada, yada. But maybe I don't want a big house with a white picket fence and a cat and a dog.
Mhm.
Maybe I just want a can of tuna and be happy. But it's all about breaking that mold and just being you and being real with yourself. Can never go wrong.
Precisely. And let everyone know where they can follow you so they can check out these amazing upcoming projects, your books, and so much more that you have coming up.
Absolutely. Well, you could just go to my social media handlers. They're all the same. Tyrone Evans Clark. So that's the same for my Instagram, my Facebook, my MySpace, and then for my Twitter, you could just put in my full name, or you could just put Tyrone_Clark at symbol, and you'll find me like that as well. So I'm pretty much on everything. I put everything on social media, and I'm also on LinkedIn as well. So you can find me on there too. And yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere, just about.
All right, Fashion Dolls and Tyrone, it was such a pleasure having you here. You gave me my
Oh,
entire life. You gave me some laughs and so much more. And I definitely would love
oh,
to have you back again in the future.
absolutely. It was such an honor. And again, I see you doing your big thing, having your like a show beyond this or addition to like Wendy Williams or even the infamous T.S. Madison. You know how she's
Love
got her thing going over there on Fox Soul. I see you going beyond this because you have the chops. You got it. Everybody don't got it. And you have it. And you got to start from somewhere. Matter of fact, you got more stuff than a lot of people that I know. Like you, yeah, you got a plethora of stuff, and I see you going super, super far. And hopefully, you don't forget about me when you blow up, and I'll be one of your guests that you interview on your stuff.
you.
So don't forget about us little folks.
Definitely not. Definitely. Well, you guys, it is Friday TGIF, and we will see you guys back Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, Tyrone Evans Clark. And it was such a pleasure having you here.
Oh, and for the fun of it, oh, daddy, daddy. Oh,
care, Fashion Dolls. We love you all, and you guys have a safe and blessed weekend. Take care,
Bye
everyone.
bye. God
Take
bless. Bye
care.
bye. Beans and cornbread.
You
Ciao.
too.